say hi.
There you
We
are.
can't say,
Hello.
there you are.
Hello. Hi, Newman. Hi, Joe. How are you?
How are you?
Good.
Very good.
Trying to stay warm out here in this cold weather.
Where are you?
I'm in Parma, outside of Cleveland, Ohio. So it's a little chilly here.
Oh my God. It's beyond.
Actually, it's warm right now. It
It's,
was about 11 earlier, but it's 23 now, so it's warmed up a little bit.
yeah. Have
Yeah.
you been able to travel at all during the pandemic?
I only did a little road trip within the state of Ohio back in October. I think October. I had vacation. I was supposed to go somewhere and obviously canceled it because of travel stuff. So I went there instead. So I did an in-state little travel thing, and it was all outdoors. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Serpent Mound in southern Ohio. It's like a Indian burial mound place, and it looks like a serpent. Anyways,
No.
I've always wanted to go there, so I drove down there. It's in the Shawnee State Park, so I got a room in the lodge there, and then I also went to the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Museum, which was about an hour away from there, because I had never been there before. So that was kind of interesting.
Everybody's on the road.
Yeah.
It's because nobody's really flying. Like people are just taking
No.
road trips.
Yeah. So when at the
Incredible.
time, oh, actually, I was supposed to go to Vegas at the time because I have a timeshare there, and
Yeah.
their positivity rate was off the roof, and everything's closed that I'd want to do because I'm not really a gambler. I wanted to go to shows, so it just didn't seem worthwhile the trip. So I just made a
I've been to Vegas once during the quarantine. We
yeah,
were driving through Grand Canyon and all this stuff, and we stayed
yeah,
one night in Vegas, and they are just hurting. So like, we got this
yeah,
gigantic suite for I think like $150 a night. It was ridiculous, but it's just so weird because you know,
yeah,
yeah, there's no shows, and
yeah. There's no shows, and
I think it's
if
weird.
I was within driving distance, it might be worth to like do a weekend trip, but to fly all the way out there, it just didn't seem worth it. So I
No, Vegas is weird. Let's just face it, it's weird.
yeah.
But it's not weird if you go there to live a normal life. Like I have friends that live there.
Away from the strip.
Beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's great. It's like great weather and
yeah,
interesting, and there's just some beautiful mountains nearby.
yeah.
But if you're kind of doing the Vegas thing, if I have more than 24 hours in Vegas with the Vegas thing, so to speak,
Yeah.
I get so depressed. I'm like, mankind is going to hell, you know.
You kind of have to take it for what it is, and that's a show. It's just
Yeah.
show and entertainment. You can't take it too seriously. So, go there, spend the
Yeah.
money that you want to spend without being ridiculous. And
Well, that's what I do. So I grew up near Reno.
yeah,
So I
I've
kind of
seen
grew
you
up
mention that.
around gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never really gambled that much because we knew the people that owned the casinos and they were rich. And my thinking was, well, I guess the key is to own the casino, not to
Right.
gamble there.
Yeah.
But the few times that I've gone gambling, I would just put a certain amount of money aside
Yep.
and say, okay, I'm willing to lose this.
Right. That's your
And if I lose
entertainment
it,
money.
yeah, if I lose, I lose it. And if I don't, I'm happy.
Yeah. That's
But
your entertainment
if I
money.
lose that, then I have to be prepared to lose it when I walk in.
Yep. But your blue skies look nice out the window there.
So, yeah.
I was actually in
Oh my God.
Malibu
Yeah. Look
a
at
year
this.
ago. I know, that's beautiful. I was actually in Malibu
Right.
last October. I was there. I went for an event in LA, but decided to stay in Malibu. I'd done the Hollywood thing and all that stuff.
Oh, you did?
And yeah, so
Where'd you stay?
I stayed at a VRBO there, on a beach house, a
Oh.
Pacific Coast Highway, right?
Oh, you did. Where do you remember where it was?
It's not
It's on
far
Pacific Coast
from
Highway?
yeah, it's not far from Duke's. And
Okay.
that's the restaurant, right? Duke's. And
Yeah.
all I remember is the driveway into where the cluster of the homes were was there was a yellow Hertz sign across the street. I don't remember the actual street address.
I know
Do you
where
know what
you
I'm
were.
talking about?
I know. Yeah, I do. I
Yes.
know where you were.
So it was
That's kind of, it's Carbon Beach. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's what it
Carbon
was.
Beach. There's
So I stayed there a couple.
Nobu's near there and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I stayed there a couple days, and then I just drove into LA the evening I needed to go to the event I was going to, and then drove back. So
What do you do?
I am a perfusionist. I know, what's that, right? I run the heart lung.
Perfusively.
I run the heart lung machine in cardiac surgery. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
It's
and
called a
ECMOs.
perfusionist.
Perfusionist,
Almost
yeah.
sounds like you're a musician. Too bad you can't.
No,
Too bad you can't turn it into an accordion and
well,
just
our
like
heart lung
keep the guy
machine's
alive and play
kind of
music
like
at the
our
same
drum
time.
set, I guess, because it sits behind the operating, table. So we're like, I guess
Yeah.
we're like the drummer, or the drum set. But yeah, so I've been
As long
working
as you
this
know.
whole time.
Well, that's so. This is people that this is past a ventilator. This is when you're keeping them going during a surgery, presumably,
So
right?
so this is taking over the function of the heart and the lungs when you have to turn them off to do like open heart surgery, like to replace aortic valve,
Right.
heart transplant,
Okay.
and those kinds of things, lung transplants, anything to do with
My
having to stop.
dad he had two triple bypasses, and the last one they had him on the machine way longer than they thought
Right.
they needed it, and he was never quite the same
That is
after that. It was
unfortunately
interesting.
sometimes a effect of they call it pump head.
Really?
Yeah, they call it pump head. It can be a side effect of the abnormal circulation during bypass. So, but sometimes it's a
Oof. It's a
fortunate.
lot of responsibility you're sitting there.
It can be. It can be. So, but you do what you do. But I've been working this whole
Yeah.
time, so
So
gotta
have
get your little outlets
but
here and there.
yours isn't going to be,
Mine's gotta be what? I'm sorry.
but you're not doing any COVID related stuff.
Oh
You're
yeah.
not really doing any COVID related stuff. It's mostly just real. Oh, you
No,
are.
we are. Yeah.
So if somebody's super sick.
So because there's cardiac problems. We also run what's
Oh
called
yeah, I guess
ECMO.
you're right.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah, I know
we
those
deal with the
electric.
ECMO, and then there's other cardiac assist devices that we have to deal with for those patients. So I've had I had 2 COVID patients this week, so got to get everything on. So yeah, it's definitely infiltrated our service. It's not our main
And
thing,
you
but
need,
we're doing it.
and you travel to do this.
Nope,
It
within our
sounds like
hospital. They
normally.
come
Well,
to
you said you
us.
came to LA to do. Oh no, so you were at a convention. I get it.
I came to well, I've been to LA for work,
Right?
and I've been for conventions, but I've also been to LA for fun, for concerts. And that last October, I was actually going to an event for at Jim Henson Studios for the 20th anniversary of the show Farscape. That was produced by Jim Henson Studios.
Wow.
So I was out there
I
for that.
forgot that it was.
Yes.
Was Ben and Claudia there?
They were. Well, I take that back. Claudia was not. She couldn't make it because she had a conflicting scheduled event. But Ben and his wife and kids were there, and some of the producers, and Gigi Edgley was there, and Brian Henson. So we got to tour the studios, and I didn't know until I bought that ticket that Jim Henson Studios usually is not open to the public for tours because it's a working studio. So that was kind of interesting to go see that.
Right. I feel like I've been there. I don't know why. I feel like I've been to Jim Henson Studios. I'm pretty sure it's right up.
I had driven past it several times when I was in LA, but I had never actually been in there until that particular event. So that was when I went to Malibu. I decided to stay in Malibu because if I'd stayed in the Hollywood area, I stayed in Long Beach, I'd been to San Diego, I never gone north, so I decided to stay in Malibu instead.
Malibu's great, but you have to give yourself 2 or 3 days to stay out here to enjoy the water.
Yeah, I did. I stayed a couple days.
You're just driving.
Yeah, and I did the glider thing the running off the top of the mountain, so that was interesting.
Here?
In Malibu, yeah.
Oh, with the guy with the little engine behind his
No, it wasn't powered. It was just run off the side of the mountain and a paraglide down to the beach. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder where you took off. That
funny,
I don't see that happen very often.
There was a public beach access not far from where I was staying, and then we took an Uber up to the top of the mountain, this windy road. He laid out his stuff, put us in the harnesses, and he's like, run that way. I'm like, you mean off the side of the cliff? And he's like, yeah. So that's what we did. It was about a 7 or 10 minute ride down.
I did that once with a hang glider and skis on. And we skied off a cliff.
Yeah.
And it was quite a rush. Quite a rush.
So yeah, that was my last day of vacation. There was actually a fire in Malibu that day, earlier that day, and it kept getting pushed back. And because the guy who was supposed to take me's street was blocked off because of the fire. So finally he sent his associate to meet me because he was out of the fire zone, and he ended up taking me instead. So it was like Sunday evening,
That's
like
a little
at dusk. Yeah.
The expert can't do it, but my associate can.
Yeah. Well, he works for him.
Life into my associate's hand.
He works for him. So
everything will be fine.
Yeah. Well, I made it back, and here I am. So.
Yeah. Good.
So, all right, guys.
Guess our time's up.
Yeah. I have to say really quick, and I usually don't. I wanted to say really quickly, it's so weird that you're in Parma, because so am I.
You're in Parma, Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How crazy is that?
It's just really strange, because it's like a really small suburb, so.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. You guys are in the same place.
Where in Parma are you?
That is so funny.
Near Target.
You're near Target?
Mm-hmm.
I'm over by the golf course. We're like down the street from each other.
Yeah.
Or you guys are going to have to get some coffee.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you for the chat, Joe. I appreciate you taking the time. And Newman was so good. He's nice and quiet for us. Oh, look at Newman. I love your little stories online. They're so fun.
No. Okay. Well, listen.
All right.
It was great talking to you.
You too.
You guys, seriously, go get some coffee.
Give me an email, Christine.
Everybody needs human contact.
That's hilarious.
True.
All right. Take care, Joe.
Heidi, take care.
You too. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Bye, Christine.
Bye.